Afternoon, everyone. I just want to share my Appia demo project, and I want to walk through how I'm going to send my loaded engineer's estimate to the Bid Express service for consistent and streamlined bid tab management. So I'm going to go ahead and click into my project that's in the new phase. And just take note, we're brought to the overview of my Appia project. And this is just a high-level health check of where our project currently stands. And this overview is going to evolve with each phase of the project. And we can see our bid items tab to the left. So from this bid item tab, for time purposes, I went ahead and I've loaded my engineer's estimate. And we can see that these items are broken down in Appia for me by section. So I'm just kind of scrolling to let you guys see that a little bit, but at the top of the page, there are a couple of tabs. Don't worry, we're gonna look at the next three in just a little bit. But I wanna touch on the preferred workflow of beginning within the Appia service to send that bid tab information over for solicitation management to Bid Express. So uploading and editing that engineer estimate in Appia, it's going to aid in, possible separate teams working together, that data being consistent, and really streamlining your processes and communication within your agency. So just think data standardization across the board. We have a couple of options here. So you can see on the right, we have reports and we have actions. We're going to review the automatic reporting a little bit later, but I do want to click on actions and just note that we do have the option to export to CSV, and that's that full CSV format, or we could send this engineer's estimate to Bid Express. I'm going to go ahead and click on that. So this modal does pop up for us, and this is just letting us know that this information is being sent from Appia to Bid Express. And it's also going to note, the last time that I did send this information over, in case I made an edit or an update, it's going to let me know, hey, this is going to override that last send. So you can send more than one time. So I'm going to go ahead and click to send here. And I just want to note that green successful banner at the top of the screen. So at this point, if you have different teams that are managing, your bidding, building those solicitations for advertisement, you could let that team know, hey, this project's ready. You have the items now that you can bring into your item list component over on Bid Express, and that solicitation can be a little bit closer to advertisement. Let's go ahead and navigate over to the Bid Express service. And when we navigate over to Bid Express, it does bring us to our agency's homepage. We're going to go ahead and click into our solicitations here, because this is where we're going to start to manage our draft solicitation. So this tab is broken down into manageable tabs for different purposes. Today, I am going to click to generate a new solicitation from my previous resurfacing template that I had generated. So I'm going to go ahead and click here. And for time purposes, I'm going to leave this a little generic. And I'm just setting a deadline for tomorrow. And we'll go ahead and click save. And I'm going to minimize these top components. All right, so now we're down looking at our item list component. So from here, that item list is where we're going to pull in our bid tab information, so that engineer's estimate from the Appia side of the house. And we've already loaded that in, but I know you're probably thinking, if you haven't used Bid Express, what does an item list component do? So the item list component is where vendors will be able to enter their unit prices, and Bid Express is going to gather that data, auto-calculate that extended unit price, and really that's going to aid in fewer math errors and a more complete bid response. So we're going to go ahead and bring in our bid tab from Appia. I'm going to click on more, and I have this option to import from Appia. Perfect. So this modal is popping up, letting me know what project I have to be able to click from. So I'm going to go ahead and select this project and click to import. So once imported, we can see on the Bid Express side of the house that this has pulled in that bid tab information in the exact same format that I had set up in Appia. So just keep in mind, there's multiple sections broken out and all of my information is matching. So again, data standardization. With each item list component, the agency is going to be able to see a total of each component as well as an overall bid total. So just keep that in mind. And if you have any questions about these additional components, feel free to reach out and I'm happy to review those with you as well. But now that we have our item list in, let's go ahead and get this bid advertised. And, again, keep in mind, one moment, let me make an edit. Keep in mind, you have that ability to make any updates that you need, but we're also going to generate templates with you during that onboarding phase to ensure that you're successful in creating a solicitation this quickly. So we're going to go ahead and click to advertise. All right, so this does pop up and it does prompt your agency to enter notes. This is at your agency's discretion, but keep in mind additional information for your vendors is always a great thing. Perfect. All right, I'm going to navigate back to our solicitations and I'm going to review our closed solicitations for time purposes. And we're going to go ahead and bring in those bidders' completed open and responsive bids. All right. So I'm going to click on the Fetch Bids option. Keep in mind, this is solely a navigational button at this point to get me to this area where I can see these opened and responsive bids. I did previously open them just for time purposes of our demo, and you would have the ability to add a manual responsive bid as well if you wanted to export that into Appia. So that is an option. I'm going to click on More and Export to Appia. Again, this modal is popping up, prompting us saying, hey, you're sending this information from the Bid Express service now back over to Appia. And I'm going to go ahead and click send. So while this is sending, and we can see it was successfully sent to Appia, I just want to do a quick recap. So I've generated my engineer's estimate in Appia. I sent that information over to the Bid Express service, where I then generated a solicitation with those bid tabs that I imported, that engineer's estimate. I've received some responsive bids that I've opened, and now I've made that accessible back over on the Appia side of the house. So this is going to aid with us to do a bid data review and award our new prime for our project. So with that, we're going to go ahead and head back over to Appia. And let's go ahead and bring in those bids. So I'm going to click back into my project, into bid items, and I'm going to look at my bids tab. Perfect. So I have this import option, and I can click to import from Bid Express. So this is going to pop up any of the open bids that have been previously made available. I'm going to go ahead and click on this last one that I brought in and click to import. So as this is importing, keep in mind, Appia is packaging all of this information up and sending it directly over. I'm not having to navigate anywhere else, and it's coming successfully for me. We can see that other green success banner. So from here, we're going to review our tabulations tab. So this tab has the options to export this information to CSV, and we also have those automatic reports. So I'm going to click on the bid tabulations report. And while we're doing that, the setup down below and on this report really is going over line item by line item, the comparison between bidders and that engineer's estimate pricing. So users can toggle off a certain bid if they want to compare that against the engineer's estimate directly. I'm going to toggle this back on, and we're going to take a peek at that Analyze tab as well. So similar to tabulations, we have our export option as well as our reporting option here. Let's go ahead and click on that bid analysis report. And we can review this and we can see there's some percentages there. We can look at that deviation of those unit prices. So we can see that breakdown. And I love the color coding because that just gives us a nice visual indicator. So I wanted to touch on that. So we're going to go ahead and click back onto our bids tab. And and we're gonna award our bidder. Perfect. So now that we've awarded our bidder, we can move forward with this project, advancing to the next phase, which is under construction. And with Appia, users can start to manage their projects entirely from start to close out. So once we're under construction, we can manage daily reports, change orders, payments, and we would have all of that historical data and bid pricing within that Appia project. So I want to conclude our demo portion, but I want to thank you for your time today. And with this new Appia Bid Express integration, and I hope that you enjoy the use of the complete project and solicitation record.